I don't want to call it breaking news, Patriots fans, but it certainly appears that Bailey Zappe will start on Sunday. Likely start, we don't know for sure, but based on what we've been able to gather from practice today, it certainly seems to be trending in that direction. Welcome into Patriots Today. I'm Harrison Graham. Here's Mark Daniels. He said, "We didn't see Mac Jones throw a pass today in our brief time at practice," the media open portion, of course. "He stood to the side as Bailey Zappe took the bulk of the reps and Malik Cunningham rotated in." So here we go. Looks like it's Zappe hour. Spam 4 in the chat. You know, I think this news to me, at least the way I would react to it, is it's not as much about Zappe starting as it is about it officially being over for Mac Jones in New England. To me, this isn't a move if you make it where you go back with 4 or 5 games to go after this week. So I think it's done for Mac Jones. The Malik Cunningham portion of that is certainly interesting. We'll get more thoughts on that in a minute, but it just, things did not go well for Mac this year. I mean, look at the numbers. This is a pivotal year for him after a good year 1, a disappointing year 2, and now a bad year 3. I mean, the completion percentage is fine, but not a good touchdown to interception ratio. Put the ball in harm's way too often. We saw that on display last week where he threw 2 picks and almost a third and fumbled that was luckily recovered by his own teammate all in one half. Rolly, I think it's officially Jover for Mac Jones.
Yeah, we kind of alluded to that on Sunday after the game where he got benched for the second half against the Giants, but this move just had to be done. To be honest, I thought this move should have been made going into the game against the Giants because after you benched Mac against the Colts with 2 minutes to go and then you have a bye week, so you have 2 weeks to make the transition, I thought that was the time to finally hand the reins over to Zappe for the rest of the year, or Will Grier or Malik Cunningham, anyone other than Mac. So I feel like this does signify the end of Mac Jones in New England. Maybe he is dealing with an injury. I doubt it because I don't know where he could have suffered that injury during the game, but there is a chance that's the reason why he's being held out. But the more realistic chance is the fact that Bailey Zappe will officially be the starter for the rest of the way, which a lot of Patriots fans have clamored for, and it makes a lot of sense with how bad Mac has been.
Yeah, and look, we've talked about this before, Rolly. Like, neither of us are Bailey Zappe believers, but
I mean, he was not even good against the Giants.
No, he was not. I mean, you can flash the numbers here, but it just comes to a point, though, that, like, you just have to signal that change is coming at quarterback. And playing out the string with Mac Jones, there's just not much value in it. Play Bailey Zappe, see what he can do, evaluate him to see if he can potentially be a backup next year. I don't think there's anything he could do to prove that he's going to be the starting quarterback long-term in New England. But remember, when you're building a roster, backup quarterback's very important. And think about this, too. They cut Bailey Zappe on roster cutdown day back in early September. So he still has questions of his own to answer and to prove to this franchise just to be on the 53 moving forward. So this isn't just a Mac discussion. This is a Bailey Zappe discussion, too. And a lot of this is why I wanted to see them throw Will Grier out there. He is back on the practice squad, for those wondering. But yeah, it's over for Mac Jones. Looks like it's going to be Bailey Zappe. I'll be curious to see if they have some sort of package for Malik Cunningham. But RIP, at least metaphorically, to the Mac Jones era in New England. Make sure you guys subscribe. This is why you hit that sub button, because when big news drops, we have you covered. Now, Bill Belichick did not name a starter, so it's not like official, but it's official. It's done for Mac Jones. If you want daily coverage here on your New England Patriots, hit that subscribe button. And it's interesting that Malik Cunningham got some reps throwing the football. Now, we know he's been practicing as a receiver as well on the practice squad, but this is certainly an interesting development, Rolly. He didn't wear a QB-specific jersey, according to Andrew Callahan and other reports, but I do get the sense that they're at least going to elevate him for this game and have some kind of role for him.
Yeah, we're going to dive more into Malik Cunningham in a second, but I just did want to mention this with Callahan with this tweet. If he was viewed just as a quarterback, he would be wearing the black jersey today as the rest of the team wore red jerseys because they're wearing the Patriot jerseys this week, so they have different practice unis as well, just in case you were wondering. But they still are giving him wide receiver reps. And at this point, it's kind of just tough. I think they just got to pick one position for Malik Cunningham and roll with it. Bill O'Brien said earlier in the week that he's splitting time between quarterback reps on the practice squad as the scout time quarterback and wide receiver. To me, that's just only hurting his development on either aspect. It's hard to focus in on being a wide receiver and quarterback. Just pick wide receiver or quarterback and go with it. And in this case, both of us are kind of leaning towards quarterback. So.
Yeah. The only thing I can wonder, Nick, is if his QB reps are a very specific package where they have 5 passing concepts and then some running concepts that they can go to with him, where it's maybe a total of 12 to 15 plays, and that's his QB reps. And it's almost like a Taysom Hill thing where it's all right, man, when we line you up at quarterback, we're going to do one of these 3 things. Otherwise, we're just going to run you or try to develop you at a different position. I'd like to see him play. I don't think you would be that successful if you drop back 30-plus times with them, but I am curious by it. So we'll see if he gets out there in some capacity this week. It certainly couldn't hurt as you're playing for next year at this point anyway. But if you want to play for this year, Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports, made easy. It's so much fun. Different sports, NFL, college football, NBA, college basketball, NHL. You can cross over sports when you make your player entries. I've got a 5-player entry for college football championship weekend here. 5 different quarterbacks, more or less than their passing yards right there on your screen. Alan Bowman, give me the less. I got Deacon Hill with the less as well. Yes, it's a low number, but Iowa is really bad offensively going up against a tough Michigan team. I like Bo Nix more than his passing yard projections there. I like Michael Penix less than, and then Jalen Milroe more than, as Alabama looks to upset Georgia. If you do a 6-player entry, that was a 5. A 6 can get you up to 25 times your money. That one was just 15 times your money, but still a big opportunity, $10 to win 150 there. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Anywhere from 2 to 6-player entries. Again, you can cross over sports if you choose to. Get started today. Our code CLNS at PrizePicks.com/CLNS is going to get you a deposit match up to $100. We've talked about this before, Rolly. Video game numbers from Malik Cunningham replacing Lamar Jackson at Louisville, but clear limitations as a passer. He doesn't have the strongest arm. He's a little undersized. He's not the most accurate guy, sub 63% in college. So, again, that's why I kind of think you're looking at probably more of a package situation with Malik Cunningham, where there's some easy type of concepts where he's not having to read the field that much, and then obviously some running concepts as well.
Well, if you remember, when the Patriots were in Las Vegas against the Raiders, where they lost that one in a close one, they actually elevated Cunningham. That's when he got his 3-year deal, which is just kind of standard procedure for practice squad UDFA rookies. But he got some reps in that game, and he did get on the field and play in a very specific package. I would anticipate, just personally, that is going to be the case once again in this game against the Chargers at home. I don't think you're going to see him go out there and, like you mentioned, take 30 dropbacks, but 5 to 10 wildcat plays where he has the option to run a read option, or maybe make a quick little slant flat combo, or maybe just do one straight drop back. I think it's possible. He's dynamic. You saw the stats on screen. He can make stuff happen with his legs and his arms. So I would be intrigued to see him get out there and play 5 to 10 snaps in a very limited QB role. It'd be something that I'd want to see. It would at least entertain a game where probably most of us want the Patriots to lose anyway.
Yeah, I mean, look, you're in the experiment point of the season. Why not try some different things? I know it's unfamiliar territory for Patriots fans. It's definitely unfamiliar for Bill Belichick in New England, but you just got to embrace it at this point in the season. You're not playing to make the playoffs. You're trying to figure out which players on this roster can be pieces moving forward, and why not now to try Malik Cunningham and see if he is a real piece or not 2024 and beyond. Do you want to see Malik Cunningham play this week? Type Y for yes or N for no. We've been saying it for weeks. Rolly and I wanted to see him last week. So obviously we're going to type our Ys for yes. Go ahead and get your votes in. Now, I did allude to this earlier. Will Grier is back on the practice squad. No chatter of him taking reps, but he is back in the building. I will say this, Rolly. If Bailey Zappe does start and he really struggles, I don't think you go back to Mac Jones at this point. So maybe that's the one scenario where Will Grier does get a chance, maybe like week 15, week 16, late in the year, just hey, man, we're 2-12. We'll give you an opportunity here.
Listen, I know it's just the practice squad, but the QB decisions over the last 2 to 3 weeks have been bizarre. To bench Mac Jones in that game against the Colts.
With 2 minutes left.
Yeah. And then come out of the bye week saying we don't know who's going to start at quarterback. We're going to evaluate all options. All 3 of those quarterbacks got first-team reps. Mac Jones and Zappe got the majority of the reps, but then Mac Jones starts. He gets benched because he's been horrible.
Well, by the way, Will Grier in that stretch also got cut.
Yeah, he gets cut. Mac Jones stinks. Bailey Zappe plays the second half. He stinks. Now you don't know who's going to start there. And then you bring Will Grier back to the practice
Malik
squad.
Cunningham getting reps.
I get that Will Grier is just coming back to the practice squad, HG. But
elevate him.
If you want him on the practice squad, why did you just keep him on the active? Like, I don't get it. Just like, what is the harm in keeping him on that? I get they elevated Connor McDermott to the 53.
There's got to be some depth defensive lineman that's got no future here that you could cut to give Will Grier a chance.
I just don't understand what Bill Belichick has been doing. It feels like we're on this inevitable track, Harrison, to split. We're done after this year. I know some people are going to be sad about it. I certainly am. It's really the greatest coach of all time, possibly leaving the Patriots. But it's like things have been so odd over the last year and a half that it almost is necessary to finally move on.
Well, and if you really want to stretch it beyond the last few weeks, Rolly, how about you picked up Matt Corral, then he just had to disappear. We don't even know. I mean, it'd be nice to evaluate a guy like that right now, no?
But if something was off with him, not being bought into the Patriots.
Something off the field was going on.
Very strange, dude.
Just
very, very strange.
Weird few months in New England. And I don't think it's going to get any less weird until the offseason, which is why you should subscribe. We're here to cover it all. We appreciate all the love and the support. A lot of the last recent videos, a lot of people tuning in, so appreciate that. Quick round of applause. We'll see you guys soon here on Patriots Today.